It's 5 o'clock.
Tonight on Fios 1 News, let the cleanup begin. Yesterday's nor'easter dumped nearly a foot of snow in some spots.
Plus, utilities for those who lost it during the storm. When crews expect all power to be back on.
And free limo rides take the center stage at the corruption trial of Ed Mangano. The star witness takes the stand.
And then a bit of fun in the snow for New Jersey Senator Cory Booker outside the U.S. Capitol building today, who he challenged to a snowball fight duel.
Fios 1 News Now.
And good evening. Welcome to Fios 1 News Now. I'm Brian Webb in for Mike Gilliam.
And I'm Courtney Kane. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll get to the top stories in a moment. But first, to check that forecast with meteorologist Joe Chaffee. And Joe, the calm after the storm. Sunshine.
It is. And this time of year, Brian and Courtney, very easy for thermometers to shoot up even after a record snowfall. And it was records everywhere in so many different ways. We're going to talk more about that a bit later on. Newark at 51 right now, 49 at White Plains and Farmingdale, Sussex at 49. It's actually the warmest in the Hudson Valley because the snow was less as you went north. 52 for Poughkeepsie, Islip holding on to 46, where the snow was just completely out of control with over 20 inches in some places on Long Island. Winds are not doing too shabby. They're running at about 10 to 20 miles an hour with some higher gusts. And we've got some patchy clouds over Long Island and in the Hudson Valley and over North and South Jersey. We'll look at the forecast of the 7-day coming up.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, sunny skies are melting away some of that snow, but in some spots hit hard yesterday. It may take a little more work than that. On Long Island, Bayshore, Plainview, and Patchogue saw more than a foot of snow. People in Bayshore spent the day clearing their cars and sidewalks and digging out of their driveways. Patchogue saw nearly 20 inches of snow. Bayshore got about 13, and Plainview around 16 inches.
Well, this is life in Nyack today. The sound of shovels scraping the pavement can be heard from Main Street to Broadway. Snow totals were moderate in Hudson Valley, Monroe in Orange County, and Terrytown in Westchester County. Both got about 7 inches of snow during yesterday's storm.
And here's a look at the snow cleanup over in New Jersey. Overnight, the storm dumped 13 inches across parts of Monmouth County. More than a foot of snow fell in Howell, Lincroft, Freehold, and Colts Neck. Some people in this neighborhood in Howell using snow blowers to help with that cleanup.
Thank God for the snowblower. If I didn't have a snowblower, I don't know what I would do.
Well, many say they are tired of the cold weather and are waiting for those spring temperatures.
We feel their pain.
Me too.
Well, the heavy wet snow did cause power outages across New Jersey. According to Governor Murphy, 72,000 customers statewide are in the dark today.
Well, today the governor updated us on the progress being made after the fourth nor'easter to hit the area. Fox 1's Taylor Knight with the story.
The cleanup is well underway after Wednesday's nor'easter dropped almost a foot of wet, heavy snow on New Jersey. But Governor Phil Murphy says it could have been much worse.
Thankfully, it appears the full fury of this storm did not hit as expected.
He cites a few things that helped in this storm. For example, a commercial truck ban was enforced on many New Jersey highways, something officials say allowed crews to plow highways faster and reduce the number of accidents.
And the feedback from those troopers up in North Jersey last night was that it was phenomenal.
And another thing officials say helped in Wednesday's storm, better coordination between the utility companies.
They have to get out and have mutual assistance requests immediately out there, which they did this time.
But there's still work to be done. Murphy says there are still about 72,000 people without power across the state, but he adds this is nowhere near the amount of folks who lost power in the last big storm.
Certainly, we saw the utilities were better prepared for this storm than the previous two, but any multi-day outages are unacceptable.
If you are without power, Murphy says that the utility companies expect to restore 95% of customers' power by midnight tonight. The remaining 5%, he says, should be restored by midnight tomorrow at the latest. If you are without power and need to warm up, you can call 211 for information on warming centers near you. In Woodbridge, Taylor Knight, Fios 1 News.
Well, Governor Cuomo has a stern warning for the power companies. He says he will not tolerate extended power outages, and if there is a problem, he wants immediate action. Fios 1's Logan Crawford is in Brentwood.
PSEG crews could be seen around Brentwood today, restoring power to those who lost it during the nor'easter. Timothy Moore says his electricity went out around 5 a.m. at his home on 3rd Street.
We was out shoveling the snow, and the wire was full of ice, and we watched it spark and drop down, then the lights went out.
This PSEG crew got the power back on for Moore around noon. Moore says living in New York all of his life, he's used to the winter weather and its impacts.
I'm always prepared. I got my generator. I put it on right away.
Many residents we spoke with today say they lost power this morning because of snow weighing down tree branches, causing them to fall and knock down power lines. PSEG says this could continue to happen throughout the day.
When that wet snow get on those pine trees over there, right?
Yeah.
They break, you know, they snap like toothpick. They come ready to snap. You hear them cracking and hitting the ground.
George Keels says he lost power a little after 9 this morning. PSEG restored electricity at his house on Adler Avenue before 1 p.m. Keels says he'd like to see crews trim tree branches in the warm weather to avoid power outages in the winter.
Cut all them limbs from over them wires, you know, because when that wet snow get on them, they're going to come down.
PSEG contracted tree trimming crews to clear some vegetation on Spurred Drive and Islip so a line could be repaired. PSEG Long Island says they expect power to be restored to all of their customers by midnight. Reporting in Brentwood, Logan Crawford, FiOS 1 News.
Well, the storm was responsible for 2 deaths on Long Island. A 62-year-old Belmore woman died from a heart attack while shoveling snow. And state police identify that woman killed in this van crash on the Wantagh Parkway is 51-year-old Xiu Rongyong of Flushing, who died when she was thrown from her van just north of Exit 4 in Hempstead. 1 other woman remains in serious condition, and 3 others suffered minor injuries.
Well, a town in Bergen County wants to switch its utility provider after being left in the dark for days earlier this month. Wyckoff's town committee is reportedly pushing to switch electricity providers from Orange and Rockland to Public Service Electric and Gas. Thousands of Orange and Rockland customers in that town were without power for days following the storm on March 7th. NewJersey.com reports Wyckoff's township says inadequate communication and a delay in deploying crews as reasons why they want to switch.
All right, time now for Check of That Forecast.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but hopefully Joe Chaffee is going to tell us the madness is over.
Do not live in fear.
Okay.
Fear not. We have no... For thy has no nor'easters on the way, I promise, at least for the next 7 days. We still have the old one, though, and that's sitting out east of Cape Cod, and that is now pounding parts of Nova Scotia, back up into New Brunswick and down East Maine, and actually getting some rain showers today, moving into parts of the Boston area and southeastern Massachusetts. But we're far enough west that all we're dealing with is just some patchy clouds, and the temperatures... Amazing how temperatures respond to that strong sun this time of year, even with a deep snow cover in some places that in the wintertime would keep us in the refrigerator. This time of year, the thermometer wants to go up, upper 40s to around 50 at the moment. We don't see any big problems here going forward. Looking at skies clearing out tonight, then we'll probably see some clouds developing during the day tomorrow. There might be a rain or snow shower late tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. Then we'll probably do it all over again, clearing out Friday night into Saturday morning, and then producing a few clouds and maybe a rain or snow shower Saturday evening. So lows tonight from the low and mid-20s in the Hudson Valley, upper 20s to low 30s everywhere else. And then we'll have sunshine and clouds for your Friday. This has got to be one of the longest weeks. Every day seemed like a week. Temperatures mostly in the low to mid-40s, although Monticello may stay stubborn at about 36. And I'm thinking the weekend is looking good, albeit a bit on the chilly side. Courtney and Brian.
Mid-40s never felt so good, if you ask me.
So good.
Still to come, free limo rides for the entire family. We have the latest on the corruption trial of former Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano, his wife, and John Venditto.
What the prosecution had to say as the star witness takes the stand.
Plus, airport workers demanding better pay. Can Governor Murphy help them get a better paycheck?
And fallout for Facebook, how students in our area are reacting after the networking site reportedly exposed millions of users' personal information.